The Celestis can field damage drones. The Heretics do pretty solid damage for their size, but PL definitely in the lead right now, not only in terms of points, which they actually just retook, but also in terms of just the amount of EHP and damage they're able to field.
Right, that was my question. What is it, 6260 if my math's right then?
Yep, that's right, 6260. Navy Vexor for PL, piloted by Arcale, taking a lot of damage now. He's about to head into armor. In the meantime, still the PL damage hasn't caught up to anything. The Heretics have taken some shield damage, but nothing too major, and they've actually regened some of it. So it's been a while since they got shot, and now this Navy Vexor is about to go down, putting Shadow Cartel back into the lead if they kill this ship.
And the same thing with him. He's out there near the boundary, again, trying to kite out drones. I mean, he hit 114, 150, and they're really playing with fire with that, but he does. He's got a cloud of drones on him. He's trying to outrun. Heretic of floppy M's takes more damage.
Shadow Cartel goes back into the lead, 72 to 62.
Asakura's Ishtar is now into armor.
Oh my god, it's so close. That Ishtar, Asakura's Ishtar is out at an MJD beacon, actually. And just MJD'd away from the flight of augmented Valkyries that were chasing him.
Heretic of floppy M down on Shadow Cartel's side, so Pandemic Legion, 2 Vexors EOS against Ishtar, 2 Celestis, 2 Heretics. Or I should say 1.5, that other Heretic's really not doing very well. Yeah.
Last Heretic getting pretty low as well. This Ishtar just jumped to safety. Like I said, we'll see if he can get some of his damage applied somewhere. We see Pandemic Legion drones moving across the field, switching targets. Maybe the ones that were on the Heretic now moving to something else. In the meantime, it looks like they're going after the EOS.
EOS. I was thinking that. Why not go after Des Affinity's Vexor, who's already got a little bit of damage, or even Forlorn Wangraven? I mean, 2 Vexors, either one goes down pretty quickly. You just need to get points and just get cheap DPS off the field at this point. EOS is going to be the toughest nut to crack on this field right now.
Exactly, yeah. It is a strange decision. Maybe something about ranges that they're, for some reason, not able to get to the Vexors, or maybe they're just not worried about the Vexors. Maybe they've killed their drones. I have no idea, but they're actually doing a lot of damage to the EOS. That EOS now getting low on shields.
Celestis Wildbagger into armor now. 2 minutes remaining, just came down the call in locals, so this is going to go to time perhaps, but this is incredibly close match. Celestis taking more damage, almost into structure now.
All of the PL medium drones there onto that Celestis.
And we have a tie match.
Down 72-72 with 1:40 left. Shadow Cartel Ishtar is still in good shape in terms of HP. Those Heretics are still super vulnerable, and PL's just shown they can kill the Celestis as well. But this EOS on the PL side about to go into armor. Can they actually get him down before this 1 minute and 22 seconds is up?
And this is a tough spot for Shadow Cartel, because before you lose that Celestis, you think, just run away. You know, run away, kill drones. Your Heretics are pretty good at picking off drones, but now if they lost that Celestis, they're even. They have to kill something. And right now, the only thing they're making progress on is that EOS. That's a really risky venture. It's going to take so long to kill that thing. You stand a really good chance of a Heretic getting caught.
And there's so little damage left on the field for either team. I have to assume there's been, you know, picking away drones, and all that's really left hitting this EOS is like 4 augmented Valkyries and 1 Hobgoblin 2.
Celestis just lost its shield. Some drones have caught up to him. He's got a big flight of drones right behind him, about 10 drones attacking him. Into armor now. Heretic down. Pandemic Legion in the lead.
God,
about
Heretic
30
down.
seconds.
They have to kill this EOS now in 40 seconds, and I don't know if they can do it. He is taking damage, but losing that Heretic is huge. Puts PL in the lead. Oh, there's 30 seconds.
Oh, I got 30 seconds remaining.
Red armor.
25% armor.
Ishtar taking damage on the Shadow Cartel side. That probably won't matter. It only matters if they're able to get this EOS down.
9%, 6%, 5%, 3%.
There's not time. Going into structure now.
Structure.
15 seconds.
82, 76, 75. He might get him.
Go.
Oh my God.
In the meantime,
5 seconds remaining.
Come on. No, so close.
20%, and that's the match. Holy cow.
And he goes down after time. He just went down. Wow. Match decided by no more than 3 seconds. That is insane.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
PL again.
Skin of their teeth.
Getting through by the skin of their teeth. Wow, wow, wow. What a match. That was amazing. We're going to take another break and be back in a few minutes, guys.
For day 4, that means that pretty much only the good teams and Test Alliance are left.
Test Alliance, please ignore. Worst of the best.
Delicious spaghetti you eat while waiting for a prey to put its shiny paw into his career. So you always let jump, and let the body hit the floor, and that is how the glue comes.
Welcome back to the most intense Alliance tournament ever after that last match. I'm CCP Rise here with Bacchanalian, and before we start talking about Methodical Alliance versus Gorgon Empire, I just want to say on stream to confirm that Heretic, the Shadow Cartel lost at the end, was a micro jump drive boundary violation. Jumped way out of the arena right before the match ended, was not actually killed by PL ships. So maybe that was clear on the stream, but I just wanted to make sure you guys see that so that the guilt inflicted on him is as big as possible. But tell us what's going to happen in this match, Bach.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. We see some very heavy capacitor warfare team coming in on one side here with the Paladin, 3 Armageddons. That's 3 Armageddons. Damnation, Thrasher, and 2 Bantams, so Logi frigates again. And they're going up against triple Astarte, Armageddon, Guardian, 2 Crores, 2 Maulus, and triple Merlin. Those Astartes are going to have a really bad day against 3 Armageddons.
Yeah, definitely. And Methodical setup looks really strange. They do have Bantams, which should be shield reps, which means that would make these shield Armageddons and a shield Damnation. Seems pretty odd. The Paladin, of course, kind of can do its own thing, which is what they did in their last match and worked out for them. So let's kind of see how it goes, I guess. Pretty weird setup.
I guess we'll toughen the speed these ships reach right away. But you're right, that is strange. Whoa, Bantam number 1 off the field before we even get a chance to see what's going on. So the second one is down right after him. So first blood
Nice.
For Gorgon.
That's going to make these rail Astartes, I assume. Picking things off that quickly from that far away. These teams did start pretty far apart, as you guys should have been able to see. Maybe 40 or 50k between them. Another ship down there, the Thrasher going down for the Methodical Alliance, so they're left just with their core now, 3 Armageddons, Paladin, and Damnation.
Yep, Astarte stripped of his shields to armor there, but the Guardian not having any trouble keeping him going there, so we'll have to see if the cap warfare over time eventually breaks through that Guardian. These are much beefier ships that need to be broken through now, so.
Yeah, and you can see the Gorgon Astarte is not trying to close range with the Methodical Alliance team at all, which actually totally negates those Armageddons. The Newts not going to be able to really do much of anything because they're just never going to be close enough. And we saw last weekend the Arty Slipners being put to work by Hydra, and this sort of is a different version of that with the rail Astartes, and of course rails are really quite strong now after I overbuffed them a little while ago, so this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, certainly if you can avoid getting in range of those Armageddons with hybrid guns, you definitely want to, because hybrid guns eat a lot of capacitor. We see the first Armageddon banned at 773 into armor now, taking some fair bit of damage. His armor's going down relatively quickly, but
this is
let's see.
So strange. The Armageddon is local repping. Cap chain here between the Armageddons with local reps and rep bots. So why the Bantams, I wonder?
I just have no rational explanation for the Bantams. Maybe that's just next level meta and I don't get it. See CBU, Holix, Astarte taking a little bit of armor damage. The Guardian should have no trouble repping that up meanwhile, but the local tank on the Armageddon's actually holding up relatively well. He's losing little bits here and there, but pulling him back, so steady at about a half armor, a little more. And
just not a lot of damage going the other way towards Gorgon Empire. That one of their Astartes is starting to take some now. They have the Guardian damped, so he's not able to apply reps for now. Here come the reps. He closed range and is able to get reps applied, and I assume that Astarte will just pull that armor back pretty quickly. But like you said, Armageddon hanging in there for now as well. He's at still 50% armor, so see kind of how this develops. I have to think that this kind of tiny tinker chain here between the Armageddons can't hold up against an entire team for all that long, and yeah, he is starting to actually break now.
Yeah, they started getting repped back when all the Guardians got back, locked back on him, but you're right, that Armageddon is going to go down here shortly, and I think once that happens, as with any tanker team, the more you lose, the worse it gets for him. It kind of falls over like a stack of dominoes, so we'll see him go down and probably something else shortly after, but I'll say this is a very anticlimactic match after that last one. Holy cow, I'm still coming down from it.
Yeah, that was a really wild match. One of the best in quite a while, I think. So many, so many like changes in momentum. So crazy. Armageddon is going to go down. It looks like he's still repping, but not really doing so well. Those damps probably not really doing much of anything. Maybe keeping Methodical Alliance from being able to control what targets they choose. They have dropped sentries from those Armageddons, Imperial Navy Curators, and that's where the damage on that Astarte was coming from. But Gorgon Empire having no trouble whatsoever tanking the small amount of damage that this team's able to put out.
Yeah, they were able to get Dark Moors Astarte almost about 60% armor there for a little bit of swap targets. Armageddon goes down.
Getting
looks
down.
Like Guardian locked him up and repped him right back up. So now they're trying on El Nomada, the Armageddon, on the Gorgon Empire side to see if perhaps he can get through him. But at this point, it seems like just desperation. This tanker is coming apart at the seams.
Yes, it will, of course, collapse more quickly. The more ships they lose, this Geddon should go down a little faster than the last one. They can break his cap a little quicker without help from the other Geddon and without more of those rep bots. It's possible they won't be able to kill the Paladin, of course. When Marauders go into Bastion, they can tank pretty darn well, and it doesn't look like this Gorgon team has a really excessive amount of damage because of being more long-range oriented and more support-oriented with those Molluses and Cruors, but that's okay, because we can spend the next 5 minutes talking about that PL match some more.
Yeah, but Armageddon will go down eventually, but it'll take a while. Faffy's started taking a little bit of armor damage, but you gotta wonder. I mean, we were talking about this a little during the break. What was going through that heretic pilot's mind? Was he paid off? Was he so overwhelmed with the stress of that match that he, made a huge mistake to throw that match, or what?
It's so strange because not only did the points flip the match and at least give PL the opportunity to win. Also, if he just stays there, even if he dies, his added damage definitely allows them to finish off the EOS in time. So it goes down, makes up for his points. A lot of people's minds, I think, go to a throw. It's maybe not so hard to send a convo and say, hey, you can have 5 billion ISK if you just blow your ship up. But I like what Fozzie said to us during the break, which is actually, in almost all cases, especially from serious teams, when something really weird happens, the best assumption is that it's just a mistake. That it's, people do weird stuff under pressure, and that was about as much pressure as you can have in a match. And he may have just been tunneled on thinking he was going to keep his ship alive and not noticed how it was oriented and made a big mistake. But it'd be interesting to hear the story as it kind of comes out from PL. In the meantime, or from Shadow Cartel. In the meantime, the second Armageddon does go down just past the 420 mark there in the match, and one Armageddon to go, and then we'll have to see if they can break the Damnation or the Paladin.
Seems like there's some miscommunication on the Gorgon Empire side. They're detecting both the Paladin and the Armageddon, but it seems they put all the damage on the Geddon now. He's taking a significant amount of damage, and it looks like he will go down even faster than the last two.
But yeah, I'm just super interested to hear. I would have loved to hear the stress on the PL side as those Logis flew out. That's such a huge mistake, and it's 2 matches in a row actually, hugely swung by Logi pilots making boundary violation mistakes. It's amazing they were able to pull back after that. Third Armageddon down, just 2 ships left now for Methodical Alliance. Gorgon Empire obviously in control here. Fireworks on the field.
Well, you've got to wonder, and after we've seen such efficient displays from Camel Empire, from Hydra, from Exodus, from various teams, even CVA's, matches, they're just really, really methodical, deconstruction of the enemy teams. And Pandemic Legion's the team you expect to do that. You expect them to come out there, not lose a ship, to just steamroll their opponent, and they haven't. They've come out and barely, by the absolute skin of their teeth, survived their matches. I wouldn't even call it won. They survived their matches.
Yeah.
And what does that say? I mean, what is that? What are you thinking? If you're Camel Empire, you're kind of a team that's maybe the second tier. You think you're going to place 3rd, 4th in the tournament because you don't know how you're going to match up against a Pandemic Legion. Well, suddenly Pandemic Legion's not playing up to their potential. This opens the door for a lot of other teams that consider themselves maybe the top 5 teams, but maybe not the one to win it all. Suddenly they've got the shot. Paladin for Artemis now in about half armor. He's tanking. Looks like he is in Bastion, but it doesn't really matter at this point. This match is well and over.
Yeah, definitely. Only matters to whoever owns the Paladin, and it looks like he'll probably be able to tank it. There is Neutralizer's NOS on him, so it's possible they'll be able to break it. But yeah, I mean that's an interesting thought. It's definitely felt like there's a pretty wide gap between the very top tier tournament teams for the last few years and kind of another tier that's right below them with teams like Exodus and maybe even teams like Shadow Cartel. But maybe we're seeing that gap close a little bit. That kind of middle tier team able to put more pressure on, and maybe the top tier team sliding a little bit. I don't know. Like you say, seeing PL survive matches twice in a row is pretty unusual.
You see a cargo container being popped out there? I'm trying to look and see where it's...
Paladin definitely going to go down. That's a nice kill for Gorgon. Get to finish that off before the match ends.
Yep, 2 minutes remaining. Heck, they might have time to get the Damnation while they're at it, depending on how well tanked this Damnation is. So, yeah, I can't wrap my head around the bursts. I've been trying to rack in my brains the entire time here.
The Bantams, you mean?
Bantams, I'm sorry, the Bantams, not the bursts. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really strange. No idea. Maybe just to keep the Thrasher alive. It's like a...
That seems like an awful lot of points to... Basically, that's a lot of points to put in just a Thrasher. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, they might be able to finish the Damnation off. They did get the Paladin, use the last 30 seconds here to kill that command ship, even though it is pretty zinky. And I don't know, Rail Astartes seem pretty cool. That I wonder if we'll see, you know, a shift towards long-range turret meta because of its ability to sort of kite around, apply damage more quickly, compete with these drone setups that are relying now more on mobile drones rather than sentry drones. That definitely changes things a lot, and I wonder if more teams will adopt rails and artillery or beams as we move through the tournament. We'll have to see.
The one thing working against them killing this Paladin here is the fact that the resist on the Damnation are just so high. I don't know if they're going to get through it, but you know, I've flown Rail Astartes before when you first released the new rails, and they certainly were effective. Even with a shield fit, they're quite nasty. So don't underestimate their damage. And you're right. I think it's interesting to see if we see more of them. That said, the hybrid guns require capacitor, unlike the Sleipnirs. So that is the match. It looks like it wrapped up, and it is a very clean win for Gorgon Empire.
Yep. Good job, them. That'll do it for this one, and we'll be back in just a few.